I need you to do something very specific right now. I want you to go to the Wi-Fi settings on your phone or your computer. Look at the list of available networks. Do you see anything strange? A network with no name, a glitch in the signal strength, or maybe just for a split second your connection dropped completely around 4 hours ago. If you noticed a disruption, or if you woke up this morning with a sharp static, like ringing in your ears, that felt electrical rather than physical, I need you to go to the comments section right now. Type the word CUNTACT if you felt it, or CELI if you didn't. I am building a map of the interference pattern because what just happened in the upper atmosphere wasn't a solar flare. It wasn't a satellite crash. It was a handshake. And for the first time in human history, the other hand, didn't wait for us to extend ours. It just reached out and grabbed us. We have spent the last week debating whether the interstellar object 3I Atlas was dying or charging. We looked at the fading optical images from Hubble and saw a corpse. We looked at the screaming 10 sigma radio signals from the GMRT and saw a battery. Well, the debate is officially over. The battery didn't just hold that charge, it fired it. At exactly 4012 UTC, this morning the Deep Space Network, the massive array of antennas NASA uses to talk to the Voyager probes, went offline. Not for maintenance, not because of a hacker. It went offline because the receivers were overloaded by a signal of such intensity that it triggered the automatic safety breakers. It was a directed energy pulse. This is the phrase that is currently circulating in the leaked memos from the European Space Agency. Directed. That is the key word. A star radiates energy in all directions like a light bulb. A supernova explodes in a sphere. Nature is messy. Nature is omnidirectional. But this was a laser. It was a tight, coherent beam of electromagnetic energy focused with impossible precision, and it was aimed at one specific target. Us. The pulse lasted for exactly 0.8 seconds. In that fraction of a second, 3I Atlas released more energy than the sun emits in a full minute. But it wasn't thermal energy. If it had been heat, we would have fried. It was data. Dense, compressed hyper, structured data carried on a carrier wave that punched through our ionosphere like a needle through fabric. The impact point was calculated to be over the South Pacific Ocean, an area known as Point Nemo, the furthest point from land on Earth. This is where we crash our satellites. It's the graveyard of space junk. But 3I Atlas didn't aim there to destroy anything. It aimed there because it knew that the water would act as a dampener. It knew that hitting a populated continent with that much electromagnetic force would have wiped out our power grids. It chose the path of least destruction. It was careful. But here is where the story gets terrifying. The pulse didn't just hit the ocean and dissipate. It dispersed into the global atmospheric grid. We are seeing reports from pilots over the Pacific of a green flash, not the optical illusion you see at sunset, but a literal sheet of green ionization that covered the horizon for a second. We are seeing reports of Starlink satellites momentarily losing sync. And we are seeing the biological reports, the headaches, the static, the sudden waking up at 4 a.m. So what was in the pulse? The initial decryption attempts are failing, but they are failing in a very specific way. Usually when you try to decode random noise, you get nothing. But when the NSA and other signals intelligence agencies ran this pulse through their algorithms, they didn't get noise. They got a recursive loop. The data refers to itself. It unlocks itself. It's not a message you read, it's a program you run. There is a theory circulating among the fringe astrophysicists, the ones who have been right about this object from day one, that this wasn't communication. It was an injection. Think about a syringe. You don't communicate with the medicine inside. You inject it, and the medicine changes the biology of the host. 3I Atlas just injected Earth with information. Is it a blueprint, a warning, or is it a virus? I don't mean a computer virus. I mean a mimetic virus. An idea so complex and so powerful that once it enters the planetary consciousness, it changes how we think. Look at the timeline. The object arrived. It observed us. It saw our wars, our division, our technological adolescence. It decided we were stuck. So it charged up its core, it entered a stealth mode to conserve power, and then it fired a single massive packet of evolutionary code directly into our atmosphere. And now the object is truly dead. This is the part the news will focus on tomorrow. The new images from Hubble taken 10 minutes after the pulse show 3I Atlas has gone completely dark. The 10 sigma radio signal is gone. The heat signature is gone. It is a hollow shell. It spent everything it had on that one shot. It sacrificed itself to deliver the payload. This changes the entire narrative. We thought we were being invaded. Then we thought we were being studied. Now it looks like we were being saved or processed. The machine completed its function. It delivered the package. Now it's just a piece of drifting metal, a discarded wrapper floating through the void. But the package is here. It's in the static on your radio. It's in the glitch on your screen. It's in the headache you have right now. The energy didn't disappear. It transferred. It transferred to us. The government response has been frantic silence. They have declared a global communication anomaly to explain the dropouts. They are trying to scrub the internet of the leaked GMRT charts. They are terrified because they know they have lost control. You can't shoot down a beam of light. You can't sanction a dead spaceship. The event has already happened. The seed has been planted. So what happens next? If the injection theory is correct, we should start seeing changes. Not in the sky, but here on the ground. We might see sudden leaps in technological breakthroughs. We might see a sudden, inexplicable shift in global politics, a move toward unity that defies our history of conflict. Or we might see the opposite. Maybe the data is too much for us. Maybe it drives us mad. I want you to pay close attention to your dreams tonight. This sounds unscientific, but during the charging phase, the #1 reported symptom was vivid lucid dreaming. Now that the energy has been released, those dreams might become clearer. They might stop being dreams and start being instructions. We are the recipients of a billion-year-old inheritance. We didn't ask for it. We didn't earn it. But we have it. The file is on our hard drive. Now we have to figure out how to open it without crashing the system. I want you to think about the precision required to hit Earth from that distance with a beam that lasts less than a second. That is not nature. That is not a rock. That is a sniper. And we were the target. The silence you hear now from the object is the silence of an empty gun. The shot has been fired. The bullet has hit. Now we just have to wait and see if the wound kills us or if it heals us. Go back to the Wi-Fi list. Look at the static. Feel the pressure in the air. The world feels different today because it is different. We are no longer alone because we are carrying their code. I will be monitoring the atmospheric sensors for any aftershocks. I will be tracking the government's attempt to cover up the green flash sightings. But for now, the most important data point is you. How do you feel? Do you feel the heavy electric silence of the aftermath? Tell me in the comments. Kanente or nasaalert. Let's see how many of us were hit by the beam. The waiting game is over. The integration has begun.